Propane leaks in your RV system is a very major life safety issue. Let me show you a couple of ways to test to see if you have a propane leak.
Welcome to another 2-Minute Tech Tip Tuesday. Brought to you by the National RV Training Academy, the largest hands-on RV training academy in America. Hey, before we get to the video, which I know this is the reason why you're here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything. Hit the subscribe button now. Thank you. Now, back to our Tech Tip Tuesday.
One of the propane tests that we do to see if there's a leak is called a time pressure drop test. It's a leak test. We're looking to see if we have a leak at any of our connections. But what we're going to do is we're going to find out if we have a leak anywhere in our system. We're going to charge all the lines in our RV with propane to make sure that we do not have a leak anywhere in the system. One of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have the propane turned off. My propane is completely turned off. I like to have somebody verify. I promise you it's turned off. All right. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to come over to our stove, take the cover off of the stove, and we're going to perform it on the stove through the manifold of all of our burners. One of the things that we do is we remove the burner. I'm going to remove 2 Phillips head screws, set it to the side once I have the cover taken off. I'm going to install the burner spud fitting over it. It comes with my manometer. The manometer that I like to use is a Yellow Jacket. It is a dial, and it comes already pre-installed in this case. If you get one of these, know that it is calibrated for a propane test. Now, I'm going to go over some numbers with you here in just a moment, but I want you to understand what this is. This is calibrated to be able to pick up and test for a leak. If you notice that it does have the dial manometer in it, sitting right here. It comes with a rubber hose. This rubber hose is going to go over the spud fitting. Once we stick it on, it's good to go. Now, the hardest part of this job is getting that spud fitting on there. Once I do this, I'm going to make sure that all of my burners are turned off. This one is removed because that is the spark igniter. The other thing that I'm going to do on safety is make sure that everything that uses propane has been turned off. Some of those appliances are your water heater, your furnace, and your absorption style refrigerator. We want to make sure that those are turned off. If they're going to be calling for gas, we do not want anything coming out so it doesn't mess up with the test, or worse than that, causing something to ignite. Once I make sure that everything's off, propane's off, my manometer is set up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge the line. Whenever I say charge the line, I'm going to actually turn the propane on for about 5 seconds, and then I'm going to turn it right back off. So here we go. 3, 4, 5. So what we've got here is propane is in every line in the RV. Once I have this off, my next step is to go ahead and allow the pressure to go to my manometer. What I do is I take this burner knob and I turn it on. It's going to pop up to the gray area on the manometer, and it'll read between 11 and 12 inches of water column. The next hardest part of this whole job is to actually lowering this down to 8 inches of water column. Just remember this, 11 inches of water column is the prescribed propane pressure for all of our RV appliances. What we've got to do now is actually lower that pressure, and I'll explain that to you as soon as I do this. There I am. I'm sitting at 8 inches of water column. What we're doing here is we're actually allowing the diaphragms to relax all the way from our regulator to the whole line through your whole RV. Now, this happened quickly because the only thing that I have charged up here right now is the stove, the line, and the regulator. What we're actually doing now is from the service valve to the manometer is where we're sitting. So we've actually got the pressure set at 8 inches of water column for our whole RV. We're going to set it for 3 minutes on the alarm. Before I do that though, I'm going to take a picture of this to make sure it doesn't move. I'm going to set it to the side. I'm going to actually watch that for quite some time. The amount of time that we actually do it is for 3 to 5 minutes. The reason that we do that is because propane expands 1.5% for every 10 degrees warm. We need a short window to do the time pressure drop test. I'll set my phone up, I'll watch it, and when it's time, the alarm goes off, I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to take my phone with that picture and set it right next to the manometer to see if it moved at all. If it moves down, we most likely have a leak. What we need to do is make sure. So I'll actually do this 2 more times if there is a leak. I want to verify that I'm having a leak. If I do have a leak, I'm going to check my hose first and my manometer. All right. It's been about 3.5 minutes, pushing 4 minutes. I'm going to take my phone, I'm going to look at it and set it right here next to it. I've got old eyes, so I want to make sure that we are doing the right thing for our customer. When we look at this, it has not dropped. So that tells me that we do not have a leak in our system. If I want to verify that, I'll do it again. If it's done once, it'll probably be the same way. But we would have to empty our lines completely out to be able to do this again. Start all over. So we're good here. One thing that I'll tell you is that once we're done with this, this is proof in the pudding that whatever I did to the RV, or I made sure that there were no leaks in the system, I always show my customer or the person I'm doing the work for that there was no leak in this system. Now I do 2 of these. The first one I do is to be able to set my base. Before I work on anything in the RV, I always check it first. I do the time pressure drop test. No leak, I proceed on to the repair, come back, and I do another one. The second time around, I'm actually looking to make sure that what I did in the repair, that there is no leak. Before I actually do the second test on the time pressure drop test, what I'm going to do is at the connection that I've made, say on the refrigerator gas valve, I'm going to take some liquid leak detector and I'm going to squirt it around the connection that I put on there. If this liquid leak detector has any bubbles on it, I know that my connection is not good and it will show up here on the time pressure drop test. The reason I like this soap is because it does not have chlorine or ammonia in it. Chlorine and ammonia are corrosive to brass and copper. Therefore, you're going to leave the area clean and not have any bubbles if your connections are correct. There's your tech tip.
All right, before you get to the bloopers, which is why you're here in the first place, the RV industry needs thousands of RV technicians and inspectors, and now is the perfect time to do that. If you want to make more money or have more control over your time, go ahead and click the link below. Or if you just want to learn how to fix your own RV, got something for you there. Head over to rvtechcourse.com and get started today.
Now for the reason that you're at the end of the video, roll the bloopers.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Do you think you have a leak in your RV system? Do you believe that you have a ethomer captain? You got gas? Let me show you. Is because one of the tests that we do, I'm going to remove it. Brain fart. I put, so that means that performs with a bubble, or shoot, if this liquid leak detector, and there's your tech tip.